It's National Minority Donor Awareness Month, and one woman's second chance at life is now her mission to help save others. I spoke to heart transplant survivor and Gift of Hope ambassador Monique Jones, who shared her story and why diverse donors are so important.
So Monique, you are going on 6 years now since your heart transplant, correct?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your story and what happened.
I woke up one morning and I had what is called a heartburn. And I thought, oh, okay, well, let me take a Tums and it'll go away. Well, it did not go away. I laid back down and my husband said, are you okay? And I said, no, let me just go to the ladies' room. Went to the ladies' room. He came in later and said, you don't look well. And I thought, I can't see you. And immediately he called 911. And at that point, everything in terms of my life went downhill.
Your husband was there that day to get you to the emergency room, and I'm assuming he's been there for you a lot since you've had your surgeries. It's not easy on the recipient or the caregivers, I imagine.
No. I've been married for 37 years, and my husband has been everything to me and for me. He was there from the beginning, spent all of the days in the hospital. I spent 4 months at Advocate Christ Hospital. My husband spent 4 months at Advocate Christ Hospital. He would not leave my bedside. I appreciate him more than he knows.
Because it was a several month period of time before you actually got your transplant, correct?
Yes. I wasn't a candidate for a heart transplant.
You weren't?
No, I was not. All because when I was in complete organ failure, the lung pressures in my lungs were extremely high.
Okay.
And they did not want me to go through another surgery. However, 5 months into having my LVAD, I was given some medication, which is called sildenafil. That medication helped my lung pressures. And they said, okay, Monique, you can be on the heart transplant list.
And then someone was able to help you?
Yes.
Is that Miss Delaney right there on your
Yes.
Jackson?
Delaney is my heart donor. When I think about Delaney and her family, I am just beyond grateful. I am honored to have her heart, and that family saved me. And that's a decision that I want other people to know and to learn about in terms of organ and tissue donation. Her life saved my life. So if you are thinking about whether you want to be an organ and tissue donor, I would say do it, because you would save someone else's life.
And there's so many misconceptions about being an organ and tissue donor out there that I know that you've worked really to dispel since you've become a recipient, correct?
Yes. So once I received my heart, I decided that I wanted to give back in some kind of way. I wanted to honor Delaney. And so everything I do, when I wake up in the morning, it is about honoring Delaney. And when I found out about the Gift of Hope, I decided that I wanted to be a part of it. In whatever kind of way I could be, I wanted to be a part of it. And when I found out that I can talk to other families, other people about living with a transplanted heart, also talking to the community, especially people of color, about that process, the myth that's behind it. Right now, 60% of the people that are waiting for an organ right now is people of color. However, people of color is not registered to be a donor. But we are 60% of the people that are in need of an organ. And so I just wanted to educate Black and brown people in terms of being a transplant recipient and what that looks like for me. And also just sharing that I'm a Black woman and I received a white girl's heart. So where's the myth?
Right.
And so I like to make sure that I point that out to people when I'm in the community, when I'm speaking at different engagements. I want people to know that I am a black woman and I'm walking around with a white girl's heart, and I am beyond grateful for Delaney and her family for making the decision. Her family made the decision to donate her organs. And I happened to be the person that was in need of an organ at that time.
Well, it's great. You're such a good advocate for this because of your story, and hopefully more people will understand how important an organ donation is.
Yes, that is the purpose of why I joined and wanted to be a part of Gift of Hope.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Join the 3rd annual Gift of Hope 5K Run, Walk, and Roll Sunday, September 13th at the College of DuPage. You can head to giftofhope.org to register. You can also call the number on your screen or visit their social media to find out more about organ, eye, and tissue donation.